Coming to this question. From the following information, calculate profit or loss for the year ending 31st March 2003. Now the information here is given as amounts for cash, fixed assets, creditors and debtors are given for 2 years. The first one ending on 31st March 2002 and the following figures are for 31st March 2003. All these figures are in rupees as mentioned here. Then additional information given is drawings during the year were rupees 30,000. So students, in this case, opening capital or closing capitals are not given directly. So we will prepare statement of affairs for both the years, that is as on 31/3/2002 and as on 31/3/2003 to calculate capital in the beginning of the year and capital at the end of the year. So starting with statement of affairs as on 31st March 2002. Cash, the first asset we have is cash and amount is 30,000. Then we have fixed assets. Fixed assets are given to be rupees 1 lakh. Then we have creditors. Creditors are liabilities. They are given to be rupees 20,000. And debtors are not there. So in this question, these are the only informations that are available. We have two assets and a liability. So let us total it out to calculate the capital. This is 1,30,000 here. Minus 20,000 would be 1,10,000. And this is opening capital. Now, opening should actually be put in brackets. So this is just capital. For our information's sake, we have written it as opening here. And remember, it is the balancing figure. Balancing figure. It is not given in the question. It is something that we have calculated by deducting these two sides. So after preparing statement of affairs as on 31st March 2002, we have got capital in the beginning of the year as rupees 1,10,000. Now we'll prepare closing statement of affairs to calculate capital at the end of the year. Coming to statement of affairs as on 31st March 2003. It will be prepared in the same manner, but the figures that we'll be using will be of year 31st March 2003. So the first thing is cash. Cash is an asset, so amount would be taken as 50,000. Then fixed assets. Obviously on the asset side, it will be written as 1,50,000. Then we have creditors. Creditors are liabilities. So on the liability side, creditors 30,000. Then we have debtors. Debtors as on 31st March 2003 are 20,000. So totaling it out, it will be 2,20,000 minus 30,000. The amount comes to 1,90,000. This would be capital. And obviously we can write it as closing here in the bracket. Remember, this is a balancing figure. I am putting it here, balancing figure. It is not something which is given to you in the question. This is you have calculated by deducting these two amounts. So 2,20,000 minus 30 gives you 1,90,000 and the total is 220 on both the sides. Now students, we know that the capital in the beginning of the year was 1,10,000. Here we have calculated capital at the end of the year as 1,90,000. So the next step would be to prepare statement of profit and loss to calculate the profit earned during the year. So now coming to statement of profit and loss. So here we have statement of profit and loss. First entry that we'll make here is capital at the end of the year. End of the year, or we can write it as closing capital. We had calculated this figure to be rupees 1,90,000. To this figure we will add drawings made during the year. It is given to us as an additional information that drawings during the year were rupees 30,000. So adding this amount, this total comes to 2,20,000. From this figure, we are supposed to deduct additional capital during the year and capital at the beginning of the year. In this question, there is no information about additional capital, so that would be taken as nil. Whereas capital in the beginning of the year, we had calculated it to be rupees 1,10,000. So capital in the beginning was rupees 1,10,000. Deducting this amount, we get a figure of 1,10,000. Since it is a positive figure, that means it represents profit earned during the year. Had this figure been negative, it would have represented loss. So just to repeat the steps, by using this information, we first of all calculated capital in the beginning of the year. Then by using the information given for 31st March 2003, we calculated capital at the end of the year 2003. Then lastly, we prepared the statement of profit and loss. By adjusting opening capital, closing capital and drawings, we finally arrive at the figure of profit made during the year, which comes to rupees 1,10,000.